we're going to use a couple of examples from our homework in our notes, and then you can also write them on your worksheet for that. But they're going to be in your notes. You're going to submit them as your notes. Actually, maybe I'll just make up new ones because then that's going to get confusing. So we're looking at the first group of problems. They're a bunch of fractions, but they're not asking you to add or subtract anything. Right? So if I have a fraction, for example, let's say 125ths. What does that mean? Does anybody know? What is 125ths? Hayden? How many 25s go into 100? But it's also a mathematical sentence. Jacob? Yes, so the answer is 4, but I heard somebody say it. It's 100 divided by 25, right? Yeah. So this is a mathematical statement, and on the calculator we can do it by doing 100 divided by 25. So the fraction bar is a division symbol. So to get credit for your notes, you can write everything that I'm writing. The fraction bar is the division symbol. Will you make sure that door closes on the way? So if I have, for example, 333 elevenths, that's also the same as 333 divided by 11. So the beauty thing here is sometimes on the standardized test, they're going to give you something like this, and really what they want you to do is they want you to simplify that fraction, right? But now we know how to divide it. We'll be able to divide it on the calculator and then change it from a decimal back to a fraction because we learned how to do that. So that's what we're going to do today. Anything that does not simplify to a whole number, we're going to turn back into a fraction. Even though at some point it's going to wind up being, it might wind up being a decimal. So that's what we're going to practice today. I don't even know that any of yours are going to do that, but that's kind of my goal for today. So for your purposes, 1 through 10, these are all division problems, right? 1 through 10, these are all division problems. So if you did not get a calculator, go up and get the calculator that goes with your desk number. Anybody that did not get a calculator, go up and get a calculator that goes with your desk number. Shamari, did you get one? No. So what desk number do you have? All right, go get the calculator that goes with that desk number. Over there, right above that rack where you got your makeup work. Okay, so now we're going to practice entering something that has a negative. But it's also a division problem. So let's look at another example. Negative 425 over 15. So that is a division problem. If the directions ask you to simplify this, normally we're going to have to know that at least a 5 will come out of it, then we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator, and it's a whole process. So I'm going to show you a shortcut. Are you ready? To simplify this, we're going to turn it into a division problem. So we're going to, on the calculator, you enter 425, then you enter your positive, negative button, then you enter divide, then you enter 15, and then you're going to hit the equal symbol. What do you get? Negative 28.3 repeating, is that what you're saying? Okay, so on your calculator right now it says negative 28.3 and it's repeating forever, right? But this didn't say to turn it into a decimal, right? So we just want to simplify it. We divide it first. Now we're going to use that beautiful fraction button. So now we're going to hit, I think, try this real quick to make sure I'm saying it right. is actually a new button. Okay. All right, so now we have a new button. So we've got negative 28.3, so we're going to turn it back into a fraction. You're writing what I'm writing. And we're going to use the second button, and then it's the arrow button, so it's pointing to the left. So right now, you should have negative 28.3 in your calculator, right? So if you cleared it out, go ahead and put it back in. Go ahead and put negative 425 divided by 15. Now you're going to hit the second button, and then that arrow pointing to the left, the very bottom left button. What do you get when you do that, Eden?
Negative 28 over 1/3.
Negative 28 and 1/3, right? So that's one of the things we have to know. On the calculator, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this, right? So another thing that we have to know is what does that mean when we see that on the calculator? That means negative 28 and 1/3. Now I think we decided to turn this back into an improper fraction. Now we're going to hit the second button and the ABC button and tell me what you get. Negative 85 over 3. Don't forget the negative, right? So now, that's negative 85 over 3. All we had to do was divide it and then use our fraction buttons. Use our buttons that will turn it from a decimal back into a fraction. Any questions? We're going to do some more. Okay. These are your notes. Yep, these are your notes. All right, what is your favorite number? Demisha? 7. Yes. Okay, you're going to hit second and ABC. Okay? I'm going to put it back so you can see the notes, Sam. So to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction, so second ABC, it'll change to an improper fraction. Boys, you're going to stop talking. I know it's my fault. I didn't move you today. So these are the buttons. So once you have a mixed number, you hit second ABC, and it'll change it back to an improper fraction. If that's your sound, will you turn it off? Okay, so Demisha's favorite number is 7. I'm going to use that for a denominator, and I'm going to say it's a negative something. I need someone's favorite number, but I want it to be above 75. What's a number above 75?
76.
76 it is. Okay. So we're going to say we're going to simplify this. Actually, I don't know if it can be simplified. 77.
80?
Let's do. Oh no, I lied. It can be. That's good. We're going to leave it like that. Okay. So now we are going to. Actually, we're not even simplifying. So now we're going to be dividing, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and divide. So we're going to take 76, the positive negative button, right? So this is a division problem. Oh, you're going to trick me. I understand, but you're all stretched out. So negative 76. Remember the fraction bar is division by 7. What do you get when you do negative 76 divided by 7? Negative 76 divided by 7, what'd you get? Okay, negative 10.85, is it a terminating decimal or is it go farther? All right, so whatever you have there, I'm going to put dot, 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 whatever you have there. So this is an improper fraction. It may be that this is the simplified improper fraction, but we're about to find out. All right, so now we have negative 10.85. Let's use the calculator to turn that into an improper fraction. Because we have turned it into, it came from an improper fraction. Now it is, no, I'm written into it. Seconds and the arrow button. Second and the arrow button, what do you get? Say it again. 76 over 7? I gotta walk over there, I can't hear you. Negative 10 and 6 over 7? Okay, so negative 10 and 6 sevenths. So negative 10 and 6 sevenths. So if they give you this number and they ask you to simplify, guess what? It's already simplified. If they ask you to write it as a mixed number, you do just what we did. You divide it, then you go from the decimal back to a fraction using the second and the arrow number. Now, if we want to see if it's simplified, now we're going to take this and we're going to do second ABC. What do you get, Aiden?
Negative 76 over 7.
Negative 76 over 7. So now we know that this was simplified to begin with. That is a simplified improper fraction. So all the stuff that has been hard and time consuming to do, simplifying big numbers with big numerators or big denominators, now we know how to use our calculator to do that. So if they were to give us this negative 76 sevenths and ask us to simplify, we could say it's already simplified now, right? And sometimes they will do that. Sometimes they will ask you to simplify things that you don't need to simplify, and you have to be able to tell them that. Okay? So the first 10 are just division problems. 11 through 16 are also division problems. Let's go ahead and do one that looks like 12 through 16, or 11 through 16. So our next example is going to be negative 121 divided by 11. So remember, when you're entering this on the calculator, what does it look like? You write this down? I'm going to be counting my examples, and I'll be counting your examples in your notes. If you don't have the same number of examples, you won't get credit. I should be numbering my examples on here, but whatever, I can count. So we want to divide this. So for this example, they might say find the quotient. That's what it says on your worksheet. Find each quotient. So we're going to divide them. So on the calculator, who can tell me how to do it on the calculator? Aiden can tell me. Anybody else want to volunteer? Yes. Tell me how to do it. Nope, you. Good. And what do you get? Perfect. All right. And obviously we're not going to change that around to anything. All right. So that problem would be the same. So this example, they might write it like this. So we should know that those are the same thing. Okay, guys? If you see that or that, we're doing the same thing. All right, let's flip it over and see what we got on the second page. These are pretty easy. We're just going to practice using the negative button. So I'm going to give you a couple examples where you have to multiply using the negative button and go from there. And then we'll be done and you can work on your homework assignment. All right, so here we are multiplying, and we are using our calculators. Even if you know the answer, I want you to practice using your calculator. Okay? So we're going to start with negative 24 And they're using an X. Normally we won't use an X for multiplication, but I'm going to use it because they are. Negative 24 times 19. So how are we going to enter that on the calculator? DePaul, can you tell me?
24.
Okay, and what do you get when you do that, DePaul? Nice. Okay. What if I have two negatives? So let's say I have negative 121 times negative 9. How am I going to enter that into the calculator? How am I going to enter that into the calculator? Alex, can you tell me? How do I enter negative 21 times negative 9 in the calculator? Okay. Okay. That's perfect. Tell me what your final answer is there, Alex. $1,089? I think that's right. It should be a positive number. I know the rules. A negative times a negative is a positive number. But guess what? You don't have to know the rules now. Because now you know how to use the calculator, right? Kids always get confused because if I add two negatives, I get a negative. But if I multiply two negatives, I get a positive. That's confusing, right? Now we don't have to worry about that anymore. We're just going to use the calculator every time, and we don't have to worry about mixing up those rules. Does that make sense? One last thing. We're trying to make one last thing, right? We're trying to concentrate on the new things you're going to learn this year, not on the old things, right? We have a tool now that will do those old things for us. Whether you know how to do it or not, it's irrelevant now because we have a calculator. You have a tool that you can use that will do it. I think that's it. I'm going to let you go ahead and work on your homework. Remember, there's not any work. So for all that is good and holy, do not copy anyone else's work. Yes. You can come up here and check it. The notes, yeah, you can go ahead and turn the notes in, and I will walk around and help you turn notes in. So if you want to get your phone out, if you don't have the Canvas app, go ahead and download the Canvas app, and I can help you upload your homework assignment.